Oh, oh, check it out. Junior Mafia.
Welcome, Bobcats, to another edition of From the Field to the Fans. I'm your host and sports editor here at the University Star, Odus Evbagharu, and as always, I have my two buddies with me, Kirk Jones and Ishmael Johnson. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Got another busy day of Texas State sports.
Exciting day though. That happened, and that's going to come up in the future. So
yeah, we never get a break around here. We're going to talk about women's and men's basketball, talk about softball, talk about baseball, and all that good stuff that's going on right now in spring sports. But before we do all of that, we're going to take one quick break and hear a word from our
Why
sponsors.
not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot. Now check it. I got more Mac than Craig and in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy. No need to be greedy. I got mad friends with Benzes. See notes by the layers. True to life players.
Need cupcakes or cookies for your sweet tooth, or maybe a custom decorated cake for your sorority or fraternity celebration? Pennington's Cakes has you covered. Since 1962, Pennington's Cakes has been providing some of the best tasting desserts in Central Texas. We bake our cakes, cupcakes, and cookies fresh to order with quality ingredients and lots of love and care. No matter the order, Pennington's Cakes will rise to the occasion. Every one of our creations is artfully decorated and memorably presented. Get 10% off your purchase when you show your Texas State ID. We also offer free wedding cake consultations. We're conveniently located at 1662 South I-35, right next to Thad Ziegler Glass. Come by or call us today and join our family of satisfied customers. Our number is 512-396-4059. 512-396-4059.
Hey Bobcats, Otis here. Let's take a minute to talk about the University Bookstore and Fan Shop. These on-campus stores take care of all your Texas State needs, from books and supplies to Bobcat apparel and gifts. And the more you shop, the more these stores can give back to the students and organizations of Texas State. You can find the bookstore at the LBJ Student Center and the Fan Shop at Bobcat Stadium. You can also check them out online at bookstore.txstate.edu. Be sure to mention From the Field to the Fans and the Fan Shop for a 10% discount.
We've done it! Since opening last fall, Vapor Essentials has provided San Marcos with the best in electronic cigarettes. Whether you're kicking the smoking habit or interested in the growing popularity of vaping, there's never been a better time to visit. Vaporize and customize with our ever-expanding inventory. All 100% authentic hardware from brands like Totally Wicked, Halo, Steamboy, Kraken, and more. We also carry the best quality e-liquid by Texas Select Vapor, with nicotine ranges from 0 to 24. Try before you buy or just kick back at our full-service vaping bar. Our friendly and experienced staff will help you with all your vaping needs. Whether you're new or a familiar face, we'll be happy to provide you with the highest quality of customer service. At Vapor Essentials, we are consumers for consumers. We are your e-cigarette store. Stop by at 1515 Aquarina Springs or call us today at 512-878-8869. 18 and older, we ID.
And we're back here to talk about basketball. Men's and women's basketball games have been postponed. Wednesday night's matchup against Georgia State for the women was postponed, and they're going to talk. They're talking about scheduling the game for a later date. The men's game is also canceled due to the winter storm that is in the Georgia area. They're actually calling it PAX. I didn't know winter storms could get names, but apparently that one does. That's interesting because the women don't get to play Wednesday night, and they're on a 4-game winning streak. I wonder how that's going to affect the psyche of the team, for the rest of the week.
yeah, it's gonna be weird, kind of them having to put off the momentum and then play Saturday, kind of having a week off. That's gonna be huge to see if they can keep that momentum going. Because when you're in that groove, you just kind of want to get those scheduled games, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Now they got a week off, so we'll see what Coach Z does to keep them focused.
I'm always kind of in favor of the week off, honestly. I just feel like it's a long, hard schedule, and when they're kind of definitely in the later half of their schedule that you can take all the rest you can get, especially at this level. It gets more time for preparation. Maybe if you were a professional, I would say, yeah, you want to get that game in. But I definitely think this could work to Texas State's advantage.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that Wednesday's game for the Bobcats was against Georgia State. Georgia State, I believe, is sitting a game behind Texas State right now for second place, and Texas State is vying for that number 1 spot that Arkansas State holds at 10-2 in the conference. Georgia State being 6-4 and Texas State being 7-3. It's been a fun matchup to kind of know what's going on, where Texas State's at, playing another top-tier team in the Sun Belt. But you know what? Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe they needed the rest. Maybe they kind of needed to rest their mentals. But at the same time, you do have momentum going. You know, it's a conference-high 4-game winning streak. So we'll see how it plays out for the Bobcats in Saturday's matchup against UT Arlington. But another team that I think is probably going to help even more is the men's basketball team. It lost to Louisiana, by 1 point, last-second three-point shot. And now they get to rest a little bit. I'm pretty sure Casper was hard on them in practice. Now they get to relax a little bit. And I'm sorry, I did not want to see that game Thursday night because it was in Atlanta. It's against Georgia State, 14-game winning streak, 17-6 overall for the season. And oh, by the way, they're leading the Sun Belt with an undefeated record, 10-0.
Yeah, I was looking up their stats. They had 3 guards. They play. It's very interesting how they play. They're small forwards, 6'5", so it's mostly a 3-guard combo they play with. Hunter's one of the leading scorers in the Sun Belt. Ryan Harrow, transfer from Kentucky.
Wow.
Yeah, he's their starting point guard. He's dishing the ball out.
Oh
yeah.
Apparently he left Kentucky for family reasons.
Yeah,
I
remember him.
He saw the Harrison twins coming.
That's exactly what happened.
He saw the Harrison twins coming to take his job.
Back to mama. That's exactly what he did.
But hey, he's showing out in the Sun Belt. Why not? Him and Hunter kind of have the scoring load. I think Harrow's 5th and Hunter's 3rd in the Sun Belt. Wes Davis was actually told me he was going to guard. He was scheduled to guard Harrow.
Wow.
So that would have been a huge matchup to see. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like I don't know if after this loss to Louisiana, I don't know if they needed to go against the team that's undefeated in conference right now.
I don't know. I mean, Wes Davis played against Peyton, and he's an NBA prospect. So I think for him, it could have been nice to stay in that groove of playing against top tier talent. But yeah, I guess I definitely think as a team though, you take this to your advantage because that Louisiana game was not pretty, and I bet Coach Casper definitely has him worn out going into Saturday.
Yeah, and what's good for them is that heading into Saturday, they're going to play UT Arlington. They're going to head to Arlington. It's a rematch of a game they had earlier this season. Arlington won 56-48, but if you're really at the game, it really should have been like 3-2. Both teams could not make a shot. Free throw wise, they were terrible. I believe UT Arlington shot 39%. They did make 81% of their free throws, but it didn't seem like it though. Being at that game, it just didn't seem like they made that many free throws. They were 18 of 22, but it's whatever. They were 6 of 19 from the 3-point line, shooting 31.6%. But Texas State took basketball back 50 years. They shot 32.1%. They shot 63.6% free throw line. They were 25% for the 3-point line. They turned over the ball 14 times.
Some good old before the 3-point line games.
That's what I was about to say, the 3-point line era before that.
So hopefully they'll come out and show up on Saturday against UT Arlington. And those two teams, I believe, are not separated by that much in the Sun Belt Conference standings. So that should be a really good matchup for the both of them.
I know UT Arlington has 2 really good players, though. One from Oklahoma State, and he came off the bench, but he still played really well against them. And I think he's still leading the Sun Belt in points per game. So I don't know. I mean, that game's going to be tough again. I know they're playing it at UTA, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, Rieger Dow is the player. He's the guard.
Brandon Edwards, too.
Brandon Edwards is the forward who leads I believe he's second or he leads the Sun Belt in blocks.
Yeah.
But it was crazy to see Texas State's defense kind of shut them down a little bit because Rieger Dow he was coming off an injury and he still kind of had a good game.
16.
But everybody else, like the Bobcats, shut everybody else.
They shut him down.
They shut Brandon Edwards down, and can they do that again? That was kind of an anomaly. Like when you see a team that's averaging 79, 78 points a game in UTA and they're held to 50 or below 60. can you count on that again?
Yeah.
Or is the offense probably has to get going and probably has to put up some numbers.
That's what they're going to have to do. Rager Dow coming off the bench at 16 points, 8 from 8 from the charity stripe. That's what you're supposed to do. Brandon Edwards, 2 of 8 from the field. He made both his free throws. He had 7 rebounds, but he did have 3 blocks on the Bobcats.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the Bobcats, play against Arlington in Arlington. But a team that was successful against Arlington the first go-around was Texas State. Texas State was able to come out with a victory there, 68-60. Megan Brayer, leading scorer there. I believe she had 16 points to lead the Bobcats. Kaylin Martin followed with 11, so did Ashley Eze. And all around, good game for the Bobcats. They shot 78% from the free throw line, which has kind of been their nemesis this year, but they're starting to make some a little bit, and held UT Arlington at 36.4% from the field. So it should be a fun matchup for the Bobcats.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. The Bobcats continuing the ladies continuing their surge in the Sun Belt, trying to get that kind of, I don't want to say elusive because it's not really elusive right now, that very winnable conference title. So we'll see if they can capitalize on the victory that they had last time, see if they can continue this win streak and extend it to 5.
And I'm definitely looking for Ariel Anderson. She's been the last 4 games, she's been, I think, their best player. I mean, she's 55% from field goal range in the 4 games. She's 12 points per game, 88% from the free throw line the past 4 games. Coming off the bench, she's definitely found, I think, her niche. I think she's definitely found somewhere where she's comfortable with, I was just at the press conference, and she's the spark plug, I think she said. And I think that's the good job for her. I think she definitely is found the right role for her.
Yeah, Texas State sits second, in the Sun Belt at 7-3. UT Arlington is in last place, 2-8. I look for Texas State to pull it out in Arlington, and I look for the men's to compete. Look for the men to compete.
That's good enough, though.
Yeah, you can't predict the men anymore. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's feasible.
I think we're all in agreement on that.
Yeah.
So look for the men to compete. Look for the women to win. Team that was on the winning side Wednesday night, Texas State softball, winning in extra innings 7-6. That was a very exciting match. But before we get excited, my voice was kind of getting percolated there, so I got to calm down a little bit. But before we get into all of that, we're going to take one quick break and hear a word from our sponsors.
I got the chronic by the tree. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. To the honeys, getting money, playing fellas like dummies.
Need cupcakes or cookies for your sweet tooth, or maybe a custom decorated cake for your sorority or fraternity celebration? Pennington's Cakes has you covered. Since 1962, Pennington's Cakes has been providing some of the best tasting desserts in Central Texas. We bake our cakes, cupcakes, and cookies fresh to order with quality ingredients and lots of love and care. No matter the order, Pennington's Cakes will rise to the occasion. Every one of our creations is artfully decorated and memorably presented. Get 10% off your purchase when you show your Texas State ID. We also offer free wedding cake consultations. We're conveniently located at 1662 South I-35, right next to Thad Ziegler Glass. Come by or call us today and join our family of satisfied customers. Our number is 512-396-4059. 512-396-4059.
Hey Bobcats, Odus here. Let's take a minute to talk about the University Bookstore and Fan Shop. These on-campus stores take care of all your Texas State needs, from books and supplies to Bobcat apparel and gifts. And the more you shop, the more these stores can give back to the students and organizations of Texas State. You can find the bookstore at the LBJ Student Center and the Fan Shop at Bobcat Stadium. You can also check them out online at bookstore.txstate.edu. Be sure to mention From the Field to the Fans and the Fan Shop for a 10% discount.
We've done it! Since opening last fall, Vapor Essentials has provided San Marcos with the best in electronic cigarettes. Whether you're kicking the smoking habit or interested in the growing popularity of vaping, there's never been a better time to visit. Vaporize and customize with our ever-expanding inventory. All 100% authentic hardware from brands like Totally Wicked, Halo, Steamboy, Kraken, and more. We also carry the best quality e-liquid by Texas Select Vapor, with nicotine ranges from 0 to 24. Try before you buy or just kick back at our full-service vaping bar. Our friendly and experienced staff will help you with all your vaping needs. Whether you're new or a familiar face, we'll be happy to provide you with the highest quality of customer service. At Vapor Essentials, we are consumers for consumers. We are your e-cigarette store. Stop by at 1515 Aquarina Springs or call us today at 512-878-8869. 18 and older, we ID.
And we're back here with Ishmael Johnson and Kirk Jones. I am Odus Evbagharu, sports editor and host of this lovely show. And we're here to discuss Texas State's win against HBU. They beat them 7-6 in 8 innings, which is actually pretty cool. At the same time, I'm kind of shaking my head because Texas State's played them 3 times ever now, and the first 2 times they beat them handedly, and now it was kind of a close game. So it looks like HBU's program's kind of catching up a little bit. But the Bobcats were able to win. I believe Tamisha North drove in the winning run. That was really cool. She went 3 for 4. I believe she had 1 walk and 1 run. Freshman Kendall Wiley was able to go 3 for 4 as well. She had a home run, which was really cool. And then you had the freshman Gardner come in, and she only pitched 2 innings. She gave up 2 quick home runs that put HBU up 2-0. But Rainhouse, the senior, the veteran, came in, pitched 6 solid innings, giving up 4 runs, 3 of them being earned, 8 hits. She struck out 8. And she gave up 1 home run. That was late in the top of the 7th to tie the game 4-4, and then HBU was able to get that 5-4 lead. But softball able to ground one out here in San Marcos, and it looks like the season's promising, them going to 4-1.
Yeah, it was. I was listening to the game, and when they gave up those first 2 home runs, it was in the first inning. I was like, oh no, they can't do this to HBU. But they came out and they it was 2-0 early. They came back storming. Credit Coach Woodard for rallying the team, and you kind of hope that they would kind of beat them more handily. But some teams need some grind out wins, like see if they can face this adversity. And they faced it early, 2-0 to a team that they probably should have beat handily, coming back, taking care of business in extra innings.
And HBU's won 2 games already, so they had a decent record 2-2 coming into the game against Texas State, Texas State had a long weekend too. I mean, they played 3-4 games this weekend, so in the tournament. So, maybe they were just a little sluggish coming out, but they ride the ship and got the win.
It's good that they've won 4 out of 5 games. Last year they started 0-6. In fact, they lost 21 of their first 24 games. So it's good to see Coach Woodard's teams get back on the winning track. They're going to travel to San Diego, California. Going out to the west.
Can we go out
sun.
You're still on the whack or what?
Exactly. And they get to see some of the sun that we haven't seen here lately. I'm freezing my butt off here, and they get to go to California. Awesome.
Me and Kirk be on that beat?
Just for a weekend. Sure. Let's go.
The university started paying for the tickets to go there, or what?
We'll talk about that off camera. Campbell Classic, St. Mary's, Cal State Fullerton, San Diego State, California, and then South Dakota. I'm sorry. That's just random to me. But those are the 5 teams they'll play out west. Hopefully the time change doesn't mess them up too much. They had experience playing in the WAC last year, changing up the time and whatnot. So it should be good for them. I expect them to do really well. You're going to play San Diego State, Cal State Fullerton. St. Mary's they played last year. I believe they lost to them last year. So that's going to be interesting. And South Dakota, I'm sorry, I don't have a scouting report on South Dakota.
I don't know if South Dakota has a scouting report.
They have a basketball team. They beat us.
All right, well, I'll take that back.
I guess we can't talk then.
So good job, South Dakota. But softball will play those 5 teams, and after that they'll play rival UTSA. So it's going to be an interesting next 6 games for Texas State. See how they're fair and see if they can keep the winning momentum. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they're looking strong coming out of the season, which is a totally different side of the spectrum coming from last year. So strong start is definitely where you want to go as a team.
Yeah, their first tournament, or their first, I don't know if I want to call it a tournament, but their first classic went very well.
Invitational.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how to phrase that, but the first couple games in the Classic turned out great, and it's time to see if they can continue this in the West Coast, because they've been kind of in a comfort zone here at home. Send them out west to the nice sun in California, see if they can keep it going. Or maybe they've gotten used to the cold here in Texas. I don't know. It's weird.
You stay in San Marcos for 5 games, and then you know what? First road trip, going out
Boom,
west
let's
to
go.
sunny
Let's
California.
do it.
Yeah, they get to leave the cold weather. So it'll be fun. See what Coach Woodard's team is able to do. Sticking with the diamond. Baseball season is here. Thank
Hallelujah.
God. I love it. I like baseball. You know, there's a certain romance, I think, with baseball to it. You know, it is slowed down. It is different, but it's back. And we're going to kind of preview what Coach Ty Harrington's squad's got in store for us this year. But before we do that, we're going to take one quick break and hear a word from our
We gon' do what we came to do, ain't that right, boo? Forget the telly, we just go to the crib and watch a movie in the jacuzzi, smoke L's while you do me. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call me Big Papa. To the honeys getting money, playing fellas like dummies.
Need cupcakes or cookies for your sweet tooth, or maybe a custom decorated cake for your sorority or fraternity celebration? Pennington's Cakes has you covered. Since 1962, Pennington's Cakes has been providing some of the best tasting desserts in Central Texas. We bake our cakes, cupcakes, and cookies fresh to order with quality ingredients and lots of love and care. No matter the order, Pennington's Cakes will rise to the occasion. Every one of our creations is artfully decorated and memorably presented. Get 10% off your purchase when you show your Texas State ID. We also offer free wedding cake consultations. We're conveniently located at 1662 South I-35, right next to Thad Ziegler Glass. Come by or call us today and join our family of satisfied customers. Our number is 512-396-4059. 512-396-4059.
Hey Bobcats, Odus here. Let's take a minute to talk about the University Bookstore and Fan Shop. These on-campus stores take care of all your Texas State needs, from books and supplies to Bobcat apparel and gifts. And the more you shop, the more these stores can give back to the students and organizations of Texas State. You can find the bookstore at the LBJ Student Center and the Fan Shop at Bobcat Stadium. You can also check them out online at bookstore.txstate.edu. Be sure to mention From the Field to the Fans and the Fan Shop for a 10% discount.
We've done it! Since opening last fall, Vapor Essentials has provided San Marcos with the best in electronic cigarettes. Whether you're kicking the smoking habit or interested in the growing popularity of vaping, there's never been a better time to visit. Vaporize and customize with our ever-expanding inventory. All 100% authentic hardware from brands like Totally Wicked, Halo, Steamboy, Kraken, and more. We also carry the best quality e-liquid by Texas Select Vapor, with nicotine ranges from 0 to 24. Try before you buy or just kick back at our full-service vaping bar. Our friendly and experienced staff will help you with all your vaping needs. Whether you're new or a familiar face, we'll be happy to provide you with the highest quality of customer service. At Vapor Essentials, we are consumers for consumers. We are your e-cigarette store. Stop by at 1515 Aquarina Springs or call us today at 512-878-8869. 18 and older, we ID.
Coach, this year you're entering the Sun Belt for the first time. You just came out of the WAC. What differences do you see between Sun Belt and the WAC this year?
Well, I think what we will see, last year the Sun Belt had 4 teams that were NCAA teams, that 3 were at-large bid teams, which meant their schedule, their strength of schedule, and their ability to succeed in that schedule were good enough for the NCAA to reach down and pick them to be a part of the path to Omaha. And so out of the WAC, I think we only had 1, maybe 2 last year that went. So we're going to see a better conference, much more tougher competition on the weekends. And so it's going to be exciting. I mean, it's definitely a challenge for us. We've got to move forward, and because this is the type of baseball that we want to play.
Coach, you're going to play Michigan, you're going to play Washington, then you play the big boys in Texas in Houston, Rice, and of course the matchup at Texas here. Mm-hmm. How important is it for your program to show out against bigger programs like this, and especially beating the stiff Texas competition here for college baseball?
Well, it's important for us to succeed and have a great baseball program. It's important to our fans now. We're close to 1,000 season tickets. A lot of our games will have anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 people here, which is good for college baseball. So it's important for us to do good against all of them, because we're trying to build something that it means something to people here. Winning allows you to have something that means something to them. A lot of people don't enjoy watching games where you're getting beaten. So that part of it's fun. The idea that the bigger name, more traditional Omaha-type teams is important for us because that's the type of competition we've always played. But this year it's even that much more than what we've done in the past.
Coach, you got a lot of guys returning. You have the Garrett Matledge, you have the Hunter Lemkes, you have the Scott Griss of the world. What do you tell those guys to stay motivated, to keep on trucking it and hopefully reach the College World Series this year?
Well, their motor runs all the time. I mean, Garrett was, he really is a dedicated, committed worker. Hunter is too, and you're fortunate to have been around in your life. And they're great competitors. Both of them are great competitors late in the game too, which is where Hunt comes in as our closer. I would challenge him to be, one of the best closers in the country this year, and I think he will be. He'll be right in the same style as the kid from UCLA, but also I think Hunter is as competitive and commands the ball as well too. And so I'm excited for him. I hope he gets a baseball a whole bunch at the end of the games.
And I know you lost you lost Kyle Finnegan and you lost Donnie Hart. Those two integral parts of the pitching staff. What do you do to replace those guys and try to tell your team, say, hey, we can do this? Well,
they're hard to replace. Donnie had 40-something appearances last year. I think it might have been a record, single-season record. He was a calming effect and was really good last year for us. I don't know that I've had a relief pitcher come in that many times and do what he did. And so to replace him is going to be a challenge for us. Somebody on this other part of the team that didn't have as many opportunities last year are going to have to step into that role. And then Finney's going to be hard to replace too because he was a power pitcher, and we don't have that kind of power on this staff this year. So there's different ways to do things. But some of these guys that are on their team are here for a reason. It's their turn.
And we're back. That was head baseball coach Ty Harrington talking with me about kind of the season outlook, what there is to look for, some of the players that they're going to be replacing, and even some of the competition they're going to be playing this year. Baseball season's here. What do you guys think that what opponents do you think we need to look out for, and what should we be looking in this Texas State team?
Well, you're playing a lot of top 25 teams. I mean, there's I think South Alabama was close. They might not be in there, but definitely Louisiana Lafayette, Texas, Rice, A&M. Baylor's not as good, but they're always – this is, I think, the second time in, 16 years they've been lower in the bottom six of this Big 12. So, you're playing premier competition. So I think that puts Texas State on the map kind of, all right, we're playing Texas State. They're a premier team too, and they have high aspirations of going really far and even trying to make the College World Series in Omaha.
Yeah, the Sun Belt, and everything but baseball, the Sun Belt's kind of not really looked down, but just not as looked as highly upon. In baseball, you can't look down on the Sun Belt.
Yeah.
You have Lafayette just pretty much owns the preseason team. It's not even the Sun Belt.
Would you say we were on break?
Yeah, this isn't the Sun Belt preseason. This is Lafayette. This is the Lafayette Raging Cajuns. It's gonna be great. I love the fact that they got the schedule. Texas coming here, huge historic moment, second time ever from when the stadium first opened. That's gonna be huge. It's gonna draw a great crowd. Michigan as well, the debut this weekend.
On Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
What a lovely gift.
Day to Texas State baseball day.
Hey, there you go, man.
Ideas.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. This schedule is great. Coach Ty Harrington has great aspirations for this team, as he should.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that they're playing Washington, Michigan, Texas, Rice, Houston, A&M, UTSA.
They have no day off.
Yeah, there's no day. UC Riverside. Some of these schools are really, really good. Their schedule, it's tough. You're still going to play UT Arlington. You have Washington State. You got to travel there. You're going to play Valpo. You'll play Arkansas State, the conference. I don't know if I mentioned Houston or not, but they're playing them. Baylor, my Lord, this is a gauntlet. But, I think if anybody can do it, it's Coach Harrington's team. They're well equipped to do this. I think Coach Harrington has the right frame of mind for these guys, and I think they should do well. He alluded to that the conference is good. Last year, 3 at-large bids, and then you have the tournament winner who goes. So that's 4 teams. 4 teams on the Sun Belt that made the NCAA tournament last year, which is good for Texas State because you come in here, they're projected to finish 4th. Yeah. So if you do finish 4th, good chances that you're going to NCAA tournament, NCAA regional. So I think that's huge. Another big thing that he mentioned was close to 1,000 season tickets. That's huge that the fan base is out there supporting Texas State. So some of these Tuesday night games and these weekend series that they're going to have, it's going to be important and essential that these players do. the fans show out and support these players.
Yeah, I think that was one of the coolest things I heard was that 1,000 season ticket holders already. I mean, I think that was even before when they came out. So I mean, that's really good that the students and even I think the community, just this people in San Marcos, just not just students, but are coming out and supporting the Bobcats at Bobcat Ballpark.
Yeah, baseball is one of those very, very intimate sports.
Yeah.
You know, you can it's like nice in the evening sometimes, or in the middle of the day when it's perfect. You can just go out there. Like I've seen when I used to go to when I still go to when I go to the games. You see families out there, you know. You see grandparents taking their grandkid, you know, sitting out there just chilling, watching a great game. It's not fast paced. Your heart's not pumping. It's it's nice and easy, and you know it's exciting when it gets exciting. And I think it's the sport students support most consistently on a scale basis, because I mean football. Numbers, you know, pure numbers, they get more, but percentage of the stadium filled, things like that, it's baseball by a long shot.
Yeah, Coach, you heard Ish used to go to the game, so you might want to talk to him about that. But no,
Texas, you'll change his mind.
Yeah, or Rice, or
Rice.
Baylor, or A&M, you know, or this schedule that I'm just so amazed by the schedule that they have. But I do think that Coach Harrington's going to have a good squad. He's got Hunter Lemke coming back. I believe he had the most saves in a season, or tied for the most saves in one season.
Second most in Texas State history
with 8 last year. That was key. They're going to have Austin O'Neal back. They have Cody Lovejoy. They have Matt Lidge. They're going to have Colby Targan. So they're going to have Ben McElroy. They're going to have a really good team coming back. Hopefully they'll be able to do better offensively. And what I'm really expecting from this team is really to compete day in, day out. I do think they're going to finish better than 4th in the WAC. I do think that Lafayette
Sunbelt.
Sorry. Oh, man.
I had to catch you there.
Oh.
Let me rope you back.
Changing conferences every day. That's Texas State's motto athletically. No, you're right. Sun Belt. And I do think that they'll finish better than what they haven't projected. Lafayette, it is the all Lafayette team, but I do think that they might be a little weaker than what people expect.
Yeah.
I do. And South Alabama too, I think they might be a little weaker. So Texas State should be able to compete, but that's my take. I think Hunter's going to come out with a strong season. Hopefully they can get to him and he can be lights out like he usually is, and I think there's going to be a lot more power this year in the lineup.
Yeah, I know Austin O'Neal, he came back. I think he led the team in home runs with 3, I think, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a lot for the team.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's actually in some circles, I guess. He was a second-team all Sun Belt player. So, you know, they didn't have one on the Baseball America all Sun Belt, but
and the coaches, I don't think big.
Yeah, the coaches didn't pick anybody, but they still have good players. I mean, just because they're not making all teams, that doesn't. I mean, I think Garrett Matledge was a top 10 prospect, but they still have the power and the good solid core team coming from last year's team to compete in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, the coaches didn't pick any Texas State players, but College Sports Madness had Cody Lovejoy on their all-conference team. And you're also looking at Scott Grist as well.
Yeah.
Top 50 prospect, 4.56 ERA last year. He's going to look to close out his Texas State career with a good season. And Ty Harrington's looking for that season. Like we had the regional in 2011 where I think they faltered to Kent State because it was a tough group. It was UT led by UT. And then I think they dropped an unexpected game to Kent State, and that was kind of like been the highlight of Ty Harrington's career. He's looking for that surge, that big year that says, okay, that gets to the super regionals, that gets to Omaha or something. You know, he's looking for that big year, and I think this has the potential to be it because you have that surprise factor. You know, the coaches, no first place votes went to Texas State, 8 went to Lafayette. 1 went to Monroe, who's at 10th. I'm pretty sure we know who voted for Monroe. And 1 for South Alabama.
Who does that?
I mean, I don't know. But no first place votes for Texas, and they're 20 behind the third place. 20 points behind, Troy, who's projected to finish third. So I think Texas State has a little bit of a surprise factor in there. Not a lot of the coaches know or expect anything big from this team. I could work in the benefit.
Yeah. So, hey, I think Bobcat baseball is going to be on the map this year. Definitely. That's my true feeling. I think they'll respond. I think they'll definitely try to make the College World Series, and it's fun. You're going to be in the state of Texas competing against everybody, and hopefully they'll show out. You guys got any final thoughts before we close out this great show?
I'm just going to keep here at baseball. Honestly, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait for this weekend, and I'm really waiting for to play Texas. They're playing them twice in this regular season. And then they're going to be, if they make the regionals, they're going to be playing Texas. So if they split in the regular season, maybe see each other in the regionals, super regionals. What's going to happen to that? I don't know. I think that's kind of something to look forward to.
I'm going to go global, and I'm going to say U.S. men's hockey coming up in Sochi. That's what I'm looking for. The Olympics. There we go. Yeah. I'm looking forward to U.S. giving some light on this pretty lackluster Winter Olympics for the
you
US.
already know my thought process.
Yeah, I already got you there.
You know,
hockey save us.
Kind of opening out to the national a little bit. I just want to hit on Derek Jeter retiring Wednesday. That's sad. It's an end of an era, not just for the Yankees with the core forward, but in baseball. I think he's kind of closing it out. He said he knows for sure that it's the end. So Derek Jeter, hopefully you have a good last year. Baseball will miss you, and you were a good guy.
And how about Jeter upstaging Bud Selig's farewell tour? So
thank God.
That was one thing I just wanted to mention there.
Yeah. So that's it. We're gonna close out the show with a great player in Derek Jeter. So
great player for great show.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. For Kirk Jones, Ishmael Johnson, I am Odus Evbagharu, and as I always say, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Imagine and Benz is giving ends to my friends, and it feels stupendous. Tremendous cream, get $1 and a dream. Still tote gat strapped with infrared beams. Chopping O's, smoking line optimals. Money, ups and clothes, all the brother knows. A foolish pleasure, whatever. I had to find the buried treasure. So grams I had to measure.